What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 19 Diamond Dynasty video. You guys can see down the screen 300 stars on the dot. We did go ahead and finish the 8th inning program. I was up all night, really did not enjoy it. 0 out of 10, would not recommend, but we got it done quickly. If you guys could leave a like down below on this video, it does mean a ton, and subscribe if you guys are new. All MLB The Show 19 videos running around the clock. Cannot wait to bring those out. And then also Ted Williams gameplay coming later today. Do not want to miss that. If you're wondering about this, it's cold as hell in Minneapolis. I just grabbed the nearest sweater. So anyway, getting on to my tips for the 8th inning program. This one is a little bit different than the other ones that we have been doing, just because they introduced a couple different ways that you are able to earn stars. So I have different tips to correspond. This time around the Conquest, I didn't really think it was all that difficult, but I will give you guys tips on that as well. You guys can see I do want to bring this up again. This is a 30-day program, so you guys are going to have a lot more time than you did in the past with the 7th inning program. But otherwise, it is pretty self-explanatory. You have your moments where you have a good chunk of program stars that you can earn. Of course, I did get the voucher, so that is going to help propel me into getting 300 stars a lot earlier than other people. And then Conquest, you guys will see as well. This time, you get 60 stars from doing Conquest. You get 30 from completing the actual Conquest map, and then you get 30 for winning 15 games, which you're going to do right alongside there as well. So let's take a look at Conquest first. If we're going to go into the 8th inning program, you guys can see it is based on the postseason. Of course, there's 10 teams in the postseason, so what it said, play 15 games. You're going to have to play 10 of those regardless. So if you just do 5 more games stealing fans, which does help out, in order to play more games on rookie and veteran difficulty, so you don't have to play on the higher ones. I definitely would recommend that you guys do that. So all you really have to do is play your 10 stronghold games that are mandatory, and then 5 others, and you're gonna get an additional 30 program stars for doing this. As far as which kind of route that I went with, I kind of went with a route, and they kind of messed it up right there. Always make sure, if you don't like the route that they give you right away, just kind of change it yourself. So I started down here with the Yankees and just kind of do some business over here, get a few hexagons, just the usual stuff. So we're going to do this. Hopefully we can win. Of course we don't. And at this point, this is when you want to do your stealing fans phase. When you're going up against a stronghold towards the beginning, you're going to have to play at a higher difficulty, but if you want to somewhat counteract that, you can steal fans. And I would recommend this doing this earlier within the map rather than later, so you don't have to worry about that. I was stealing 2 million fans per each time, so playing on veteran, I think that's a good mix of pretty much like rookie. You don't really have to worry about it, but at the same point, you do get double the fans that you usually would. So then I would just go ahead and play that game, get those additional fans taken off, so they'd only have 4, and then I go ahead and do the stronghold game right away. I did not have to play any stronghold games at higher than veteran difficulty. Veteran and rookie are the 2 difficulties that I played on all of them, so I would recommend that you guys do that. Of course, and you're going to get into your reinforced phase, and you're going to put those over there, and then you're going to keep it moving. If you do have to take another turn, do not worry about it. Gladly go ahead and take another one of those steal fans phases, because you're going to have to do 5 of those anyway to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so why not do that as well? Instead of playing this game, technically they would have 4 fans right now, so it would probably be on all-star difficulty. So if I wanted to waste 1 more turn and then play him on veteran, I think that is a really good idea. Otherwise, I do recommend that you pretty much go towards the bottom up. I would start on this lower wing, because these aren't that connected. They only have 1 hexagon connecting those 2. Go at one place at one time. If you try to go to the left and to the right, then it could get kind of confusing. Do not pipeline. I always mention this. Please do not pipeline. And what I mean by that is a pipeline would be something like this, which you guys are going to see on my next turn. Pipelining would be just going in a string of 1. You're not actually building anything. You're just going ahead like this. This is such an easy way to get cut off of circulation situation, as I call it. Let's say if the Rays wanted to move somebody out right there, they could knock off that, and I can no longer bring more reinforcements to out here, which is where I'm looking to, you know, unchart new territory. So always recommend go up and down. It does take a little bit longer that time sometimes, but it is going to save your ass in the long run, so I think it is worth it. Otherwise, keep in mind that there is the capture the AL East Division Champion stronghold within 5 turns, so it's another, you know, kind of, you're right there with the Yankees. You probably should do that right away. You might miss that if you do not look for it. Otherwise, that is the only turn-based one. All the other ones you're going to do in time, you know, acquiring so many fans, conquering all the postseason strongholds, getting all the territories. Once again, that's to steal 4 million fans. So even if you don't want to do that, you're going to have to steal 4 million fans regardless at some point. So that's Conquest. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know down below in the comment section. I don't really always know what to say as far as Conquest goes because I've made a lot of videos talking about Conquest, and they all sort of coincide into the next. So here we have tallying total base. I always recommend for this one right here, what you want to do, if you don't get a hit within your first half inning hitting, restart the moment, because you're really just going to be wasting your own time. It's a 9-inning game where you're just trying to tally total bases, and you're going to have to pitch, so there's no really point to try to play this game out as long as possible. Go until you hit a home run within the first inning. It is on rookie difficulty. That's what I did, so it just kind of saves you from having to possibly start over in the long run at the end of a game. So I would recommend hit a home run, get an extra base hit, start tallying some total bases right away, and then do that. This one is pretty self-explanatory. I do believe you just do not give up a run against their team in the bottom of the 9th inning, so kind of a closer role right there. This one right here, you're mounting a comeback. Once again, I do recommend for all of these. It depends on what kind of team you have. If you have a really good team like me, I do usually power swing with these. A lot of people always ask, you know, what kind of swing do I use when I'm doing moments? I usually power swing. If the PCI is really big, if it's real small, I'll contact swing. And if it's in a situation where I just want to put the ball on play, I'll do a X swing. But otherwise, I usually would power swing on moments. Here, 3 plate appearances, tally 3 hits. This one, you're just gonna have to wait for your pitch. I took a couple too many times doing this. I always got hits with Rod Carew and George Brett, but Tony Gwynn always hit a squared up lineup right to his outfielder, which got really annoying. So just kind of wait for your pitch. Once again, I do recommend power swinging on this. I don't believe you face too good of a pitcher, so it should not be that difficult. Once again, on veteran difficulty, just sit back. Usually don't swing first pitch because that's usually going to be some garbaggio beans, and go ahead and wait for the next one. Don't give up 2 home runs. This is just a 3-inning game, pretty easy on veteran difficulty. I don't think you really should have too much trouble with this. Strike out 1 batter. I often recommend just mixing fastballs and curveballs to get strikeouts, especially with Vita Blue. I believe he has 2 fastballs, a curveball, and a slider possibly. I could be wrong about that, but usually just mix high fastballs and curveballs in the dirt, and eventually they will chase no matter how good their plate discipline is. And it is only on all-star difficulty. Here, this is the boss battle. However, this is a bit different. Bases loaded. You are down by 3. I hit a walk-off grand slam on the first pitch. So I believe you have your I know Donaldson was up for me, so you're going to have your if it ever loads, you're gonna have Donaldson is at my 4th spot. So if you want your best hitter that you want to hit a grand slam with, just put him at your 4th spot. I do believe you're facing a right-handed pitcher, so keep that in mind a little bit. Moving on now, we tally 10 total bases. Same exact thing. This is with Ernie Banks. Once again, I recommend to power swing. This is on rookie difficulty. And you're going to want to try to pull the ball because you are using a righty, so try to be a little bit early. This one, once again, the dashboard method, I cannot recommend it enough. That is the key you're going to want to go towards, is the dashboard. And I've talked about that so much, I'm not going to go all the way into detail with it, but basically, let's just say after 2 games, if you only need 2 more hits, if you are not going to get that through the game, once you're in the game, just hit the home button, dashboard, close application, just just like that, and then enter back into the game, and then you'll still have that same progress. It is not the same thing as resetting the multi-game moment. That is completely different. This is going to retain your progresses, which is what you're looking for. For these single plate appearance home runs, I really do recommend going on directional hitting. I think it actually is very viable for that. Of course, you can still use the meatball method, which, if you guys don't know, that's just basically you're going to be putting batting tips on, and if you have the batting tips on, it is going to throw a fastball right down the middle to you. So as long as you do not disable those tips, you will get a fastball right down the heart, which is interesting. But if you don't want to do that, you can just put it on directional hitting and just aim your arrow that way towards the pole. Johnny Bench, a right-handed hitter, so aim towards the left-handed foul pole, and you usually are going to hit a home run as long as it's a good pitch, because directional more so focuses on where it is in the strike zone, because you aren't really using a PCI to judge where you want your bat to go. Once again, pretty self-explanatory. Use the directional hitting once again. It's kind of hard to give tips, like I said, just kind of focus in, wait for your pitch, don't swing at the first one, and power swing. I always recommend to power swing. You're playing on low difficulty and you're using really souped up players, so always make sure that you're hitting the square button for your swings. Multi-game moment, once again, make sure to utilize the dashboard, tally 10 total bases. Usually just set your progress, set your pace. If you don't get 5 total bases within the first game that you're doing, just reset it, because if you only get like 2, then it's going to be a lot harder to get 8. So once again, just saving yourself a bit of time. And then finally, the 8th inning boss squad. Just a 3-inning game against Tom Seaver, so it's a right-handed pitcher that you're facing, so make sure to put in some lefties and load your lineup a little bit that way, so you are going to be prepared for that. Otherwise, as far as the program goes, I do recommend really doing these missions. As always, make sure to knock these out. You can re-roll them by hitting square if you do have another one available. Even if they aren't great ones, I do recommend going into events or Battle Royale. You can kind of fix your lineup a little bit and not be at too much of a disadvantage if you do that. If you're looking to get the 10 wins, I would recommend to probably do that. If you don't have the voucher, I definitely think you should go with events, because you can get 60 program stars. You can get 30 for an additional 5 event wins. You get 30 for 10, and if you did that all through events, you get an additional 30, which is definitely nice. I think I did 5 event wins and then 5 Battle Royale, because I did this really late at night. I got pretty much the most annoying matchups possible. I can't even put into words how those games went. I was getting super frustrated. And if that happens to you on events, go into Battle Royale. Personally, I think that's a little bit easier. The game is out on PS Plus. If you just start a brand new Battle Royale run, you're likely to probably face a not so great player. I faced a level 5 bronze, I do believe, and I obviously won that game. So I would recommend doing Battle Royale or events to get those wins. Otherwise, that's pretty much how I got my stars. I didn't really use I used the 2-controller method to get like 10 stars. So I didn't really have to use that much at all with the voucher and everything included. If you are not looking to do it this weekend, do not be alarmed. They are going to have tons of postseason moments, just like the signature team ones that are going to obtain more program stars, that you are going to be able to get the 8th inning program done a lot faster into 600 stars. So let me know if you guys have any other questions, any other possibility concerns as far as the 8th inning program, any other tips that you guys would like me to bring on to you. That is my experience from it, and once again, happy to get it done. Was not a fan of it, but it is done, and I am glad to have that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Hope you guys have a great day. There goes Mazzoudi.